You know, there are many books written on negotiation and sales techniques, and I recommend very highly that you buy or borrow some and learn all you can about this fascinating subject if you want to have even a small chance of success in any field, not just property. Selling is just persuasion. Persuading someone to our point of view, whether that view is that a particular item is the one they should buy, or whether to take a particular course of action, or even whether they're going to find us attractive. What we're doing is marketing or selling. We sell ourselves constantly, by the way we dress, by the way we behave, by the way we interact with people, and we're sold to constantly. We can't open a newspaper or switch on the TV without being subjected to a barrage of advertising. It's not just direct advertising either. We're constantly being manoeuvred into a way of life by TV programs and the media. We must be slim, we must be fit, we must be tolerant, we must be busy, we must have such and such a car and we must dress like this and feed our children in such a way. A lot of it is subtle, but it's no less effective for that. So negotiation, therefore, is selling. First, though, we have to sell ourselves. People generally buy from people they like, and people generally like people who are similar to themselves. Birds of a feather flock together, you've heard the saying. We have to persuade the other person to like us. Imagine going to the bank for a loan. If you had never met and didn't know the manager, to him you were just an account number and a transaction history. Now, bank managers are very straight people. They follow the rules. They wear a suit to work, they think and act in a particular way, and what's more, you expect them to do so. So go to see him wearing dirty trainers, a hooded jacket, t-shirt, and what reaction would you expect to receive? What do you think his view of you would likely be? Do you think he's likely to say to himself, now there's a good, hard-working, decent, upright citizen worth lending money to? Or is he more likely to group you with the feral people who riot and cause mayhem in our society? Right or wrong, he's going to make a decision. Now you can help yourself by having a haircut, dressing in a suit and cleaning your shoes. Trying to be more like him. The dress code is only a part of it, however. Your demeanour is also very important. Think about the sort of people you might be attracted to. Smiling, happy, bright, conversational, friendly, or surly, rude, aggressive, monosyllabic. Of course people like friendly people. We gravitate towards them. That's because happy, friendly people make us feel good. Not only that, but people naturally want to associate with successful people. And bank managers are no exception. They're people after all. Not only that, but bank managers often have a great respect for entrepreneurs, especially successful ones, because such people are not what bank managers are made of. Bank managers are chosen for their safety. The last thing a bank needs is a manager with entrepreneurial flair. They want one who's stable, safe, and follows the rules. So what's the secret of success? There's many. I remember years ago reading Aristotle Onassis' biography. He was a Greek shipping billionaire. He was once asked, Aristotle, what advice would you give to a budding entrepreneur? His answer? Always wear the best suit you can afford and always have a suntan. The reason, of course, is that it gives an image of success, and people like to associate with successful people in the hope that some of that success will rub off. Therefore, dress to impress. Be smiling, be happy, be friendly, and you're halfway there. Now, there are two main parts to a sales pitch. The first is to sell the concept, the idea. The second is to negotiate the terms. It's absolutely pointless moving on to the terms of a deal if the other party isn't completely convinced of the concept of what you were trying to sell in the first place. So how do we know whether the other party is happy with the concept or not? Simple. Ask them. Many junior or new salesmen are afraid of asking direct questions like that in case they receive a negative answer. In fact, the whole point of a direct question is to determine whether the other party has a problem with what you are trying to sell. If they have, you need to find out now and address the problem to their satisfaction before you can move on to the next part. If you don't, those problems will surface at the end of the pitch in the form of, well, I'll think about it, or I'll have to speak to my wife, my mum, my uncle, or my dog just died, or any other daft excuse that all salesmen are so used to. Everybody you negotiate with will have a motivating factor, a hot button that's the key to unlocking their natural reticence and securing a deal. Finding out what that hot button is absolutely key in bringing the negotiation to a swift and favourable close. Remember though that what people say and what people mean are often two different things. In negotiation, people will start with an optimistic goal and can usually be negotiated down. Remember too that there are no rules in negotiation, and not being wholly truthful is completely acceptable. For example, if you are negotiating, say, with an estate agent, and you tell him that you absolutely must have a particular property, you put yourself in a very weak position. Better by far to say that, look, whilst I like it, I'm actually looking at other properties, I'm negotiating on something else, so I'm not desperate. Much better to go take that approach. And it's a funny thing, but have you noticed that whenever you're negotiating with an agent and discussing an offer, there's always another potential buyer in the background who has also made an offer, and that you really need to raise your offer if you want the property. It's not untruths really, it's gamesmanship. Well, okay, it's untruths, but it happens. We tend to think of negotiation as just talking, listening and bargaining, but it can take many other non-verbal forms too. For instance, last minute cancelling of a planned meeting, cutting short a phone call, taking an important call during a meeting. They're all negotiation techniques that are designed to put pressure on the other party. Negotiation is a system of compromise. We rarely get exactly what we want in a deal, and we generally settle for something less, but still acceptable. Read through the attached PDFs. There's some really good stuff in there. In the next module, we'll be ready to learn how to negotiate with a vendor.